Hello and welcome to a rather self-indulgent little video. We have been working on a new FPV camera kit. Now, there are cube cameras you can put on trains and they will give you this kind of view. But what the FPV camera does is it allows you to see all the things that you can see here in real time. So you can shunt or travel on your train in real time and look at the screen. If you look to the right, I'm holding the screen so that someone can see their layout in a different perspective. And it's a wonderful thing because what this FPV kit does is it allows you to literally see your own layout from a perspective that you would only normally get on a real train. Which, after all, isn't that the point? So here's some of the footage we filmed with the prototype. And here we are at Lee with Menistatis, with Jennifer Kirk, who's about to appear around the corner. There she is. And she's looking at her layout on the screen. And that's the whole point. You can see your own layout in a completely different perspective. Here you could, looking at the people on the station, you can see the fairly on the left, the incline on the right, and all the detail that she's put into the layout. And then when you go into the tunnel, she's actually put walls there because people might look in. Okay, she hasn't put a roof, but that's the whole point. It gives you a different perspective. And here you are, you could literally be on a narrow gauge railway with giants looking at you. It really is that remarkable. So here we've just put some of this footage together so that you can actually enjoy the stuff that we've been enjoying whilst we've been testing the cameras. And you notice that people are interacting, the little lads looking at the screen. This is giving you a whole new way of looking. Now, here's a lovely layout that was at the Liverpool, Merseyside and South Lancs narrow gauge group. And again, another fantastic layout. It's been there before, but here you can actually see the level of detail on all the scenery as he draws into the station. I mean, it's just like being on a real train. Here we are again inside the scenery. This is at Lee again, and the layout is Fry Up. And again, this layout is 18 years old, but you can, more than 18 years old. But if you look at the Lee video, you get the history of the layout, but look at all the fantastic detail. And if you ignore the skyline, you really are on board a narrow gauge slate train. You could be in the guards van. What a fantastic view. Here we are, back at the layout at the narrow gauge group, and yeah, Diesel pulling us up the line. Now, this is just a fantastic view, and I love the FPV. I basically did this because I would like it. I've been using drones, and the idea of this FPV kit that we are developing is that it would give you the perspective of being on the train, and I wanted to do it for myself. And people were interested, so it's generated a bit of momentum, and we're going to be offering it. Look at that. You could be looking down a cliff on the left. And, it really is spectacular. Coming into the yard, the guy on board the footplate and that loco. All these wagons that look tiny when you're looking down at the layout from up above, and it looks like it's in real perspective, it's in real, full scale. Here we are back at the narrow gauge group. This time the camera is leading the way. And again, you can see details on the layout that you just wouldn't see, you know, behind buildings and so on. They've gone to the effort of putting it there. Here we are approaching the station. You see all the detail that they've put into the layout. You know, the guy reading on the side. Oh, whilst you're here, why not give us a like? And here's the double O gauge, starting with my father's Duffales layout. Now, this was filmed at an exhibition, and this was the first time, really, we tested the FPV kit. And it does make the layout look much bigger, and it makes the whole scene come to life. Because, you know, the buildings look full scale, the track looks full scale, the wagons look full scale, and here comes a full scale loco. Or so it looks. And this is one of the body kits that we sell, the Cambrian Hunslet. And here you go. It's just a fantastic way of seeing your own layout. Now, here's a layout that was at Leyland. Lovely blokes running the layout. They were extremely keen on the FPV because, as they said, you could put it up on a big screen, and there is facilities for doing that. So you can. Now, going back to the Cube cameras, they have a higher resolution, okay? But you can't see the footage without a lag in real time. There's always a lag to a high quality footage. That's why the footage on this camera is so low, because for FPV, when you're flying a drone, you need to react instantly, otherwise you crash. And it's the same with the layouts. I thought people will want to see the layout in real time without lag, so you have to have a lower quality of film, and also you get the odd cutout when you get interference, which there was a lot of interference with all the metalwork on the roof and the other signals that were in the room. But look at this, you're travelling along the platforms on the side. You could be in the middle of this big layout. And look, the kids love it. They point, you know, Mum's pointed out the camera. He's gone to have a look. Yeah, there's a camera there. Mum, there's a camera. And soon there's a train coming the other way. You really are travelling on a big goods train. You're in the middle of it. Coal wagons in front. There's a goods train coming the other way. You're heading into a cutting under a bridge. It just takes you there. And that's the whole point. This FPV gear, we will be putting into production. We will be selling them. But this is all the prototype work that we've done, and I hope you've enjoyed the video, because that's the idea, to share with you what we've been doing. Here we're back to Duffales, and we're shunting into one of the sidings. You see, and now we're back to the layout at Leyland, and this is a brilliant layout. Checking for clearance, make sure we don't catch. See, this is all the prototype experience. We want to see where it catches, where it doesn't. You know, does it foul? Does it run well? And this is an FPV kit on double O gauge, which is inside a wagon. Just an ordinary private owner's wagon from Rapido, which runs very smoothly, which is why I used a Rapido wagon. And as you can see, the detail on the layouts. So here we are, we're pulling out of the siding. Now this is a micro layout, a brewery layout, and yet you get the full experience. Well, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, it helps the channel. We really do want to reach 1,000 subscribers. And we'll see you in the next one.